Just this February, Crescendum Flower Farm and Events began what was supposed to be their first growing season with fields filled with flowers. But quickly, it became a hybrid of flowers and vegetables after COVID hit, and many people began to lose their jobs. So now all of the vegetables grown at the farm are being donated to 2 area food banks. Krista Kushik, owner and lead farmer at Crescendum Flower Farm and Events, spoke with Emily over Zoom.
Hello, Krista. A little bit of a green thumb myself. I love all of this. So tell us about yourself and what you do. What made you decide to pivot from flowers to vegetables?
It was actually ended up being an easier pivot than we were expecting, just because we had never really existed fully as a flower farm. So when this was our first season, we were planting the seeds inside, and then COVID hit. And it just didn't make sense to continue planting as many flowers when we didn't know if the markets that we had researched were really going to exist. A lot of them were events, and events weren't happening. So I had just said to my husband, like days before, that I wasn't planning on doing nearly as many vegetables as I did last year. And then I ended up eating my words and started planting the vegetable seeds and asked some neighbors to do the same. And we've had a few hundred plants donated. And as of today, so on Monday, we had 395 pounds as our total. And I just did a big harvest last night that I'll drop off today. So we're going to officially hit 400 pounds donated today.
Wow, that's wonderful. So when you announced that you were making the switch, what kind of a response did you get?
I was inundated with responses from complete strangers, because I just put out a post in my next door and Facebook neighborhood groups. And I actually had to start making a spreadsheet just to keep track of everything. So many people, I think a lot of people, especially if you don't have a healthcare background, a lot of people wanted to be able to contribute. But if you didn't have that healthcare, I think a lot of people felt lost on what exactly to do. And so it gave people that chance to do something in their own home that was really easy. Start seeds, and I would then adopt them. So we were kind of inundated. And then I reached out to the 2 non-for-profits, the community table here in Arvada, and there's also another nonprofit that was started because of COVID, called Hope, Connection, and Community. And I reached out to that woman, and both of them, responded with like, here are the things that we need. We would absolutely could use all of the fresh produce that we could get, because a lot of times those non-perishable goods are what's donated because they have that shelf life. But here we are, right? I mean, we're less than a mile from both of those organizations, and so for those organizations to get fresh food that's local is huge for them. So they were really excited to hear that we were going to be doing what we were doing.
That's great. So then do you plan to continue growing vegetables for donations as your farm and business grow, or?
Seeing as this all happened in our first year, it kind of feels like it's a part of us now. It won't be to as large of a scale as it is this year. About half of our farm is vegetables at the moment.
So you got to find the silver linings from COVID. It sounds like this has really changed your business's response and changed the path moving forward.
Yeah, I think it really has. I think, when it was first happening, I think everybody was just like, oh no, like, how am I going to make my business work? And in a weird way, I'm grateful that it really slowed me down. We have 3 small children, so I had a lot on my plate as it was. And so it made me pull back, but I think it made me be more thoughtful about what we really want this farm to be moving forward. Because the pace just became different. And I think it's going to be much more of a community focused farm than had originally been planned. And that really excites us.
That's wonderful. Krista, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Please consider supporting Crescendum with a community-supported agriculture subscription of flowers today. For details, visit their website at crescendumflowerfarm.com, and you can also sign up for the newsletter to be first to know when they start having events.